Albany following a federal push for more disclosure, and amid investigations into Russian meddling into American elections, Gov. Andrew M. Cuomo is proposing legislation to close legal loopholes in New York regarding political ads on the Internet, with the goal of pressuring companies like Facebook to root out foreign-based interlopers in online campaigns. The proposal, announced on Thursday and due to be introduced to the legislature early next year, closely hews to a federal bill introduced in October by a pair of Democratic Senators Mark Warner of Virginia and Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota and Republican Senator John McCain of Arizona. That bill, the Honest Ads Act, would require Internet companies to reveal who is paying for political advertising on their sites by amending federal election law, which dates to the early 1970s, to include paid Internet or paid digital communication. Print, radio, and television are already subject to such regulations. Similarly, the New York proposal would add Internet and digital advertisements to state election law governing disclosure, a requirement that results in the familiar, "this ad was paid for" announcements on television and radio. Mr. Cuomo's proposal, which would require approval from a divided New York legislature, would also require that digital companies that receive money for ads maintain a publicly accessible file showing which person or group is responsible for their content. That, too, is part of the federal bill, though the proposed federal benchmarks for such disclosure seemingly target larger companies with at least 50 million unique monthly viewers. The proposed New York law would likely have lower thresholds for disclosure, likely set by state regulators, according to Alfonso David, the governor's counsel. Finally, the New York proposal, like the federal bill, would stipulate that online platforms make reasonable efforts to police ads to make sure that foreign individuals and entities aren't paying for them, an activity which is a violation of state and federal law. All told, the New York bills would combat unscrupulous and shadowy threats to our electoral process, according to a statement from Mr. Cuomo, after a systematic effort to undermine and manipulate our very democracy during the 2016 presidential campaign. The governor's push for new Internet laws is also predated by a bill introduced in October by State Senator Todd Kaminsky of Long Island, and one in the State Assembly, which would add digital political communications to disclosure laws. On Thursday, Mr. Kaminsky, a Democrat and former federal prosecutor, thanked the governor for joining this important effort to rid our election process of these false, misleading, and anonymous advertisements. In a statement issued on Thursday, Will Castleberry, Facebook's vice president for state and local public policy, said that the company was also firmly committed to transparency in political advertising, and as well as to protecting our platforms and the people who use them from bad actors trying to undermine our democracy. He added that Facebook looked forward to working with Governor Cuomo and other lawmakers on those issues over the coming year.